To understand the Arabic language, but they don't turn you into someone who tastes the Arabic language. So that's a very big difference. And what we need to get rid of, and this is what we are going to try to do, is to speak Arabic like an Englishman. You know, and this is what Balagha will help us do. Because very often the Arabic we speak is no more than English translated into Arabic words. And that's not Arabic. So an Arab would immediately, and I mean the Arabs from back in the days, would immediately see that you are not an Arab. And the examples I give, for example, أتيتك ليلة أمس يعني أتيتك ليلة أمس فضربت بابك ليلا. This is not Arabic. يعني I came yesterday night and I knocked on your door. The Arab would just say طرقت بابك. You see, طرقت لأن طرق لا يكون إلا بالليل. You know, طرق is only during the night. So why this sentence? Well, that shows us that the person talking is actually translating. So we need the Arabic mindset when we speak the Arabic language. And this is what Balagha is for. Nahu won't do this, Sarf won't do this, because Nahu and Sarf are very mathematical, if I can say it like that. But as for Balagha, it is actually very philosophical and very spiritual, although that you need to understand. Then the Balagha falls under one of the categories of knowledge which I define as knowledge kutiba kashfan wa bayana. Yani this knowledge was written kashfan wa bayana, yani to explain something which already existed. So we have knowledge kutiba raddan wa tirara, yani knowledge which has been written out of necessity and as a reply, like ilm al-aqidah, for example. Ilm al-aqidah, it was a necessity when the bid'ah in aqidah appeared. They had to write something to refute these thoughts. As for example, Nahu wasn't invented, meaning it was describing what already existed. Is the difference clear? So even though that these words and these terminologies didn't exist, but that which they are describing already existed. It's the same with Tajweed and it's the same with Balagha. So we know that Al-Balagha was one of the most strong characteristics of the Arabs. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He speaks about Al-Qur'an, Al-Arabi, He mentioned Arabi and Mubin together. Al-Mubin yani is that which is bayyin in itself, clear in itself. Al-Mubayyin, that which clarifies. What does it clarify? The word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now today, and that's just a very short introduction, people, they try to convince us that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have wanted, He could have revealed the Qur'an in another language. They say, if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have been in the United Kingdom, well, the Qur'an would have been in English. That's what they say. So this is a thought they try to spread today, yani these free-wheelers, these free thinkers. And this is not true. The Arabic language, the Qur'an has been revealed in Arabic for a reason. And it's because it was the only language which is rich enough to tell us what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to say. So the Arabic language from that perspective is like very honored. There are not really sahih hadith about the merits of the Arabic language, but the Qur'an being revealed in the Arabic language and Allah saying that the Qur'an is in Arabic and so much more is what is the very proof of it. We're going to read together this book that you are supposed to have in front of you, or at least a digital version. Inshallah we are going to read it. What I'm not going to do, and I never do this even when I teach Nahu, I'm not going to translate terms. I'm going to explain them. Is that clear? So I'm not going to say like whatever. I'm just going to use the words and I'm going to explain these words. While I read it, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will explain it, but I will not literally translate the book. That's not one of my goals. If you like to do that, you can do that. But we are going to read everything which is in the book, and then I will explain it bi'idhnillah. Is there someone who hasn't got the book with him or in front of him? Okay, then you can maybe sit next to someone who has the book. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد أما بعد فيقول المؤلف أو المؤلفون رحمهم الله ونفعنا الله وإياكم بعلمهم آمين. Important, when you read a book of someone who died, always start with a dua for these people. Don't just start reading the book. It's like a lack of respect. البلاغة مقدمة في الفصاحة والبلاغة. So here he's going to explain the difference between الفصاحة and البلاغة. He says الفصاحة في اللغة تنبئ عن البيان والظهور يقال أفصح الصبي في منطقه إذا بان وظهر كلامه. يعني he says الفصاحة from a linguistic point of view, it refers or indicates that something is being clarified. Like أصبح أفصح الصبي في منطقه. Yani meaning that the words of the little boy started becoming clear. Now you're able to distinguish between his baby talk and his true talk. You say afsaha. A very important matter here is we don't say al-Arabiyyatul Fusha. This is wrong. We say al-Arabiyyatul Fasiha. When you say Fusha, there can be afsah. No? Superlative. When you say Arabiyyatun Fusha, this still leaves something open, which can be afsah. And Arabiya is always fasiha. Is that clear? So we are going to say al-Arabiyyatul Fasiha because she is always fasiha. The moment she isn't fasiha, it's not Arabic. Is that clear? So don't say Arabiyyatun Fusha, say Arabiyyatun Fasiha. No. Then he says, وَتَقَعُ فِي الْإِصْطِلَاحِ. From a terminological point of view, the fasaha is referring to wasfan lil kalima, is describing either a word to be fasih, al-kalam, yani the sentence to be sahih, or al-mutakallim. And I said kalam, a sentence, because kalam here is what the different words put together, and that should be a sentence, otherwise it's not. And then he says wal-mutakallim, and al-fasaha also refers to the one saying something. So fasaha, three things are described as being fasih. Whenever you want to say whether the Arabiya is fasiha, this is the word, the words all together, and the one speaking. What I like to do when I read a book, to make diagrams, that makes it very easy. So you say al-fasaha, then you go like, you know how to do it, right? You have it. Yes, but we will lose time like that. So it would be good if you just do it via talk. It's like very easy, and then at home you can just perfect it. I will use the board, don't worry, but not for this. Then, so three things. He says fasahatul kalima. So now, this is the structure. So he said al-fasaha is in three things: fasahatul kalima, fasahatul kalam, and fasahatul mutakallim. Before you can say that Arabic is eloquent, the words need to be eloquent, the sentence and the speaker, and now, or the orator. So now he's defining what that means to have an eloquent word. So he says fasahatul kalima salamatuha min tanafur al-huruf wa mukhalafati al-qiyas wal-gharaba. He says three conditions need to be present. The first condition is that she should be free of tanafur al-huruf. What does that mean? Tanafur al-huruf means that the words, the letters in one word don't match. They seem to be very difficult in that one word. So it's not heavy on your tongue to pronounce them. Okay, and he's going to give some examples. So the first condition before you can say that a word is fasih is that the letters within that same word are not a difficult combination. Okay? So the first one, he says, وَصْفٌ فِي الْكَلِمَةِ يُوجِبُ ثِقَلَهَا عَلَى اللِّسَانِ وَعُسْرَ النُّطْقِ بِهَا. He says, tanafur al-huruf, he says, it's a description of the word of being heavy upon the tongue and difficult to pronounce. Nahwa al-dhash. So then he gives the example of the word al-dhash. And he says, لِلْمَوْضِعِ الْخَشِنِ. Now that it's for a hard, harsh surface, right? And to be quite frank, the word dhash isn't difficult to pronounce, is it? Is it or not? Dhash, is it difficult? You know why he mentioned this amongst the difficult words? Is because the dha in the Arabic language has al-isti'la and al-itbaq. elevation and compression, meaning this is what makes the va sound heavy, va. But the sheen has got istifal and infitah, meaning it has no heaviness whatsoever. So from a makharij point of view, it is heavy and light. Because when the majority of people say the word dhash, they do it like I just did, because I'm not reading tajweed now. Meaning that I will give the heaviness of the va to the sheen, because I'm saying dhash. But actually when I want to pronounce it correctly, I have to say dhash. You see the difference? And then it becomes more difficult. So this is عسر النطق بها إذا حافظ على مخارج الحرف وصفاته. Yani if he tries to give the due of the letters, it will become difficult. And then here I agree. And the next word, who wants to pronounce the next word, which is in your book? Asim. Excuse me? No, it was good. Yeah, and you do you feel that you stop when you say hu, hu? So it's one word. So say it in one go. No, the last one was not. I made my point. The mu'allif made his point. So when you say hu, it sounds like heavy. And the only reason why I do it like quite easily now is because I taught this book more than once, right? But at the beginning when I was reading, it was like hu, like a Chinese version of Arabic. So hu is li nabatin tar'ahu al-ibil, and ibil is with a kasra. Ibil. Okay, so this were some plants in the desert that the camels would eat. And then he says wan nuqakh, an nuqakh. Nuqakh is not very easy. Why do you think that hu' is difficult? We said here in dhash, we spoke about the characteristics of the letters, the va being heavy and the sheen being light. Why do you think that hu' is difficult to pronounce and heavy upon the tongue? Exactly. They are all letters of the throat. And the Arabs, they didn't like to, pronounce too many throat letters. And this is why in the different qira'at, you see that they very often drop a hamza, turn a hamza into another letter, because they didn't like the throat letters. Okay? So, al-hu', khu'. And then, wan-nuqakh. للماء العذب الصافي. He says the word nuqakh for pure water, pure sweet water. So now, why do you think that this here is difficult upon the tongue? Is it really difficult? Nuqakh. Is it? Okay, so in the first one we said, because sometimes the ulama, they don't explain why they choose a certain word. So the first one was due to the sifat, wash. The second one was due to the makharij, to the exit points, all throat letters. Now the third one, if you, to be quite frank, Asim, we will say the sentence in English, right? But the word nuqakh in Arabic, okay? So mashallah, I was walking, through a beautiful forest with high trees, and then I saw this beautiful nuqakh water. What impression does it give you? Does the sound match the meaning? The sound doesn't match the meaning. So this is also sometimes where they say that the kalima is not fasiha when the sound does not give you the feeling of the word. Okay? So it doesn't match. Like I said, you expected me to say something al-ma'ul azbun namir, right? You see that? Now, nuqakh. So when will you use this word? Well, you won't. Some words are just not there to be used. You won't find nuqakh in the Qur'an, for example. But some people might use it when they want to talk about the water being corrupted by an external element which made it dirty. So he said, فَجَعَلَ الْمَاءَ الْعَذْبَ النُّقَاخ نَجِسًا. You see now, all of a sudden the word nuqakh and najis, they go together. So it's like I made a bridge between the two meanings by using that word. You see, and that would be fasaha then. Okay, but just like to write a beautiful story, you won't use nuqakh. Okay, then in the next one he says wal mustashzir. Mustashzir. Okay. What do you think is going here? Lil maftul. Yeah, something which is unraveled. No? Or like, how do you call this when you have wool and you cotton and you go like this? How do you call that? Okay, that's it. So, al-mustashzir. Where's the difficulty in mustashzir? Why? So the sheen is in the middle of the mouth, but it has a tafashi. And tafashi is the spreading around of air. So the moment you stop spreading the air through your mouth, you need to come to the zay. So mustashzir. So this might be one of the reasons some people say it's just because it's heavy upon the tongue. Heavy upon the tongue. Not anything else. Okay. Allah. وَمُخَالَفَةُ الْقِيَاسِ. Yani the second thing which should be absent before you can say that a kalima is fasiha, we said the first thing was what? That the word, the letters in the word are not a difficult combination. What is a difficult combination? Easy to pronounce and not heavy on the tongue. Is that what we said? And then we describe, we divided it into either it's difficult because of the sifat, either it is difficult because of the makharij, or either it's because the meaning doesn't match the word, or the word doesn't match the meaning. And then we said just because it feels heavy. Okay, so these are 4 things. Now, if you would read that book just like that, you would just think they're all difficult words and done. But our ulama, they never ever. I can't imagine myself 4 ulama coming together, writing a book, and just saying, you know what, let us just use, vash here and nuqaq there. I mean, they thought about makharij sifat, and they also expect people with knowledge or people with little knowledge to explain this book, right? So they know that those who are going to explain it will refer to it, even though that they themselves didn't do so. Okay. وَمُخَالَفَةُ الْقِيَاسِ. Yani the pattern of morphology, right? Which is the forms, and that it goes against the forms of a sarf. كون الكلمة غير جارية على القانون الصرفي كجمع بوق على بوقات. Like the plural, making the plural of buq, buqat. Because the plural is supposed to be abwaq. And then he gives an example. في قول المتنبي فإن يك بعض الناس سيفا لدولة ففي الناس بوقات لها وطبول. So what did he do wrong here? He said ففي الناس بوقات instead of ففي الناس أبواق وبطول لها وبطول. The reason why shu'ara do this, and we call this kasr, okay? So when there is shi'r and the pattern is not correct, then we call this al-kasru fi shi'r, al-takassur. So they break up their poetry. And how do you know this? Well, by studying a knowledge which is called al-qawafi. Al-qawafi. Sometimes you hear al-qafiyah. And al-qafiyah meaning the pattern on which the shi'r is laid down, the fundamentals. So, and we call these patterns also buhur. Bahr. So then you say bahru, and then you say tawil, al-qasir, and so forth. The majority of poets, Islamic poets, what do I mean? People who write about a certain science, they use the easiest form of shi'r, which is al-rajaz. Now this is very easy. Like, for example, your poem, Tuhfatul Atfal. Say it, the beginning. You see this? So this is like very easy. They do this. But they also call this the himar al-shu'ara, or the hamir al-shu'ara. Why? Because it's so easy, you can put anything on a donkey, right? It doesn't mind if you put some melons or you put some garbage that it needs to take away, with all due respect, because otherwise you might go to hell, right? Just because overburdening a donkey, and this can take you to hell. So, but anyway, a donkey will carry anything. It doesn't care. That's the same. A rajaz doesn't care. Just put it on me and I will take it away for you. So this is why the majority of the shu'ara about يعني in the mutun al-ilmiya they use this. So we call this al-kasr. Now, then another example would be the sha'ir. Where did he go? نعم. ومخالفة القياس يعني أي القياس النحوي. نعم. That it goes against النحو والصرفي. نعم. فيما خالف هذا القياس فإنه غير فصيح. Subhanallah. Did I miss something? No. And then he goes again to مخالفة القياس, right? No. Thank you. نعم. So ومخالفة القياس أي القياس النحوي والصرفي فيما خالف هذا القياس فإنه غير فصيح. ثانيا وصف الكلام. نعم. Then he goes وصف الكلام بأن يكون على الأسلوب العربي. ثالثا على المتكلم أن يكون فصيحا. Yeah, it's strange. But that's how it is in my book. It's not right. It's not. Okay, then read, please.
He says,
Okay, خلاص. Okay. Here I had something else. It's عجيب. So إذ القياس في جمعه القلة أبواق وكموددة. نعم. في قوله إن بني للئام زهدة ما لي في صدورهم من موددة. نعم. So I'm not going to ask you to memorize these, and I'm not going to translate them because they're wrong. I don't want you to do like the Muhaddith Abu Dawood did with his son Sulaiman, when he gave him 100,000 hadith to memorize, and then he came back to his father after a week. And then his father said, okay, all these hadith are weak. And his son said, Dad, that were 100,000 hadith. And he said, at least now when somebody tells you Qala Rasulullah, you know whether it's true or not. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So I'm not going to ask you to memorize wrong poems. So, but the proof here is what is mawdida. And mawdida, yani should be mawadda. And this is what we call al-fakk. What he did is fakku ma yanbaghi an yujma', meaning separating that which needs to be merged. Because mawadda, the shidda here is referring to two letters, right? When there's a shidda, it's always showing that either two letters are merged, the first one being silent and the second one being yani voweled, or a weak letter into a strong letter, or a strong letter partially into a weak letter. Is it? What? Well, it all depends. What would you say about basalta? No, it's a weak letter in a strong letter, isn't it?
But then why do you pronounce the ta?
Why do you pronounce the ta? So here we are going to stick to the sifat of the letter, but we are going to the makhraj of the weaker letter. You see? Okay. So anyway, so idgham is either one of these, like one letter being merged into the other. We call this assimilation when it's completely gone. It's assimilation. When it's not completely gone, like basatta, yani it's partially merged, but not entirely. So assimilation. So here mawadda, yani it's two dals, yani dalani, and he did fakk of them. He separated them, and he said min mawdida. Why do shu'ara do this? Well, to stick to the pattern. They change, the words sometimes, but it's not always allowed. Sometimes it's allowed in sha'r and sometimes it isn't. Like this is not allowed, for example. وَالْقِيَاسُ مَوَدَّةٌ بِالْإِضْغَامِ وَالْغَرَابَةِ. And this one I like. Yani, a word is not fasiha when it is a strange word, that people don't know. He says كون الكلمة غير ظاهرة المعنى نحو تكأكأ بمعنى اجتمع وفرنقع بمعنى انصرف وطلخم بمعنى اشتد. So he's giving examples. Like some people, they think, I'm going to teach people Arabic, and when they go home, I want them to have the feeling that they didn't understand anything. And then they will think I'm a alim, So very often when people want to show off, they're going to say things that the people don't understand. And you know what the problem is? These people will go home and think he's a alim. Like, subhanAllah, I didn't understand anything of the dars. SubhanAllah, so why did you go to the dars? Why was the dars given anyway? And this is why some of our mashaykh would say, a scholar makes difficult knowledge, difficult science, easy. And a jahil makes an easy science difficult. So if you want to know whether a scholar is a scholar, if he can turn very difficult material into something which even a child would understand, you know he's a true scholar. Why? Because he has digested all of it and then just gave you what you needed. And this is why they say when you sit with a scholar, you learn in a day what you need a year for if you were to do it by yourself. No. So anyway, he says so al-gharaba. So don't, try to come with these strange words. That's not fasih. So وَالْغَرَابَةُ كَوْنُ كَلِمَةِ غَيْرَ ظَاهِرَةِ الْمَعْنَى, yani that the word is not really clear to people, like تَكَأْكَأَ. Instead of saying اجتمع, yani coming together and gathering. تَكَأْكَأَ means that as well. So if you would tell brothers, because you just learned this word, right? So you would say تعالوا يا إخواني لنتكأكأ. And then everybody looks at you, subhanAllah, this brother really knows Arabic. So while our scholars say don't use the word. And the same with it, فرنقع. نعم ثم فرنقع الناس عجيب. Yani it just means انصرف. Yani they went away. And the same with طلخم. طلخم البرد. No, just اشتد البرد. It's okay. يعني طلخم يعني means اشتد, يعني to increase. Or to be very, very cold, you would say اشتد. Allah. Another example would be Alhamdulillahi al-aliyi al-ajlal. Now it's for you to look. Alhamdulillahi al-aliyi al-ajlal. Why is this wrong when it comes down to the qiyas, right? Yes, why? What should I say instead of ajlal? Al-ajal. Now don't say ajal, because it's la mushaddada. That's why he did tafkik, right? Al-ajlal, al-ajal. And would it be al-ajlali or al-ajlalu? Alhamdulillahi al-aliyi al-ajla. Yes. Okay, let us continue. So now, from the very beginning, we said al-fasaha from a linguistic point of view is al-dhuhur wal-bayan. al-dhuhur wal-bayan. طيب. Then we said from in the terminology of this science, what was fasaha? Wasfan lil kalimati, a description of the word. Wa wasfan lil kalam, sentence. Wa wasfan lil al-mutakallim, the orator. MashaAllah, you're sitting in a corner like you weren't even there and you're repeating everything. Ajib. MashaAllah, that's nice. Okay, and then we said wasfan lil kalima. We said when can we say that a word is fasiha, a kalima and fasiha? One. Yes, as-salamatu min tanafur al-huruf. That it's free of letters which don't seem to be in harmony with one another. And what would that be? Either it would be عسر النطق أو الثقل على اللسان. Now I'm going to give you another secret. He said عسر النطق أو الثقل على اللسان. Vash is a ثقل على اللسان. هو. Do I use my tongue? No, it's عسر النطق. You see that? Because vash is tongue. هو is only throat. So this is another reason why they separated. يعني عسر النطق والثقل على اللسان. Okay? Then what was the next condition? من مخالفة القياس. Yes. Can I have your name, please? MashaAllah. He's Asim too. Yes. Okay, so that's what that was the second one. Yani that it's not allowed to go against what? The pattern of morphology or the rules of morphology. Then the third one was al-gharaba. And what was gharaba?
People are not used to using such words.
Yes, or the ma'na, the meaning is not obvious for the majority of people. So now we are going to give an example for each one of them. So we said fasahatul kalima, yani we said that the letters, yani as-salama min tanafur al-huruf. Which examples, which words did he give? Dhash. Why is that one difficult? Dhash, because? Say it again. Yes, because of the sifat. Okay, that was one. The second one was? Why is hu' difficult? They're all throat letters. What was another? The makhraj, yes. What was another thing? And that was what?
The sound doesn't resemble the meaning.
Yes, the sound doesn't resemble the meaning. Nuqakh. And then he gave another one. If you know that one without looking, you're a specialist. And if you have looked, you're not allowed to share it.
You said it, I heard it.
Mustashzir, huh? Okay. And that's just because it was difficult. Who remembers the poem without looking?
He told us not to learn it.
Ah.
I was going to learn it.
Well, an eager student would say, I will learn it exactly like the son of Dawood. No, not true. So, just the word.
Learning the poem was his homework from the Ashram class.
Yes, that's true, subhanAllah, that's true. That's true. No, Namima would be in your absence. Yes. And it wouldn't be, Namima, yes, Namima. Yes. Set up a brother against his brother. So, here, what was the word he used, at least? You know that. Buqat instead of? Ahsant. And then in the second one, it was? Mawdida instead of? And in the third one, it was the example I added? Ajlan instead of? Khalas. That's your class today. So now what you can do, you can actually deliver the class. This is what I would do. If I would go home after a class, I would just do what I just did now, and I would teach it to the walls. They never responded. And then I would teach it to my mother. And then, and so forth and so forth. So I think it's very important that when you go back home, imagine that you get this portion every week, right? Then after 3 months, we're done. Then you know the book by heart. The problem is today, people want to see a lot, then they go home, and when you ask them, the teacher is absent, can you teach it? No, I can't. Okay, then why did you follow the class then? The goal after a class is that you are ready to teach it, right? So this is the way that we are going to do it. Very easy going, but we want to concentrate on you understanding and being able to repeat what we have learned. We have 4 minutes left, so we are going to continue. Fasahatul kalam. Fasahatul kalam, yani a word in order to be eloquent, salamatuhu min tanafuri al-kalimati mujtami'atan. That it's free of a lack of harmony between the words. What's the difference here? In fasahatul kalima it was between the letters, and here it's between the words. وَمِن ضَعْفِ التَّأْلِيفِ. Yani, and we will explain ضعف التأليف. I'm not going to translate it now. I will translate when we get there. وَمِن التَّعْقِيدِ مَعَ فَصَاحَةِ كَلِمَاتِهِ. Yani, then it's difficult to understand while all its words are fasih. Okay. التنافر وصف في الكلام يوجب ثقله على اللسان وعسر النطق به. Yani here once again tanafur, same thing, but this time it's not about letters, meaning that the combination of the words is difficult upon the tongue. I give you, how do you call that in English? Tongue breakers? Tongue twisters. Okay. Tongue twisters. In Bedouin we say tongue breakers. So, في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع. Say that. Who wants to read it? في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع. Yes. Bismillah.
في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع.
Hisham. That's too slow again.
في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك
شرعي
شرعي مثلك
مثلك.
مثلك يشرع.
Okay, one more. عاصم.
في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع.
Okay, so do you all understand why he mentioned this? So this is not fasaha. You know, this is not fasaha at all. And then وَلَيْسَ قُرْبِ قَبْرِ حَرْبٍ قَبْرُ. Asim, I need to distinguish between both of you. How do I distinguish Asim and Asim? Al-Awwal. Who's older?
I'm 33.
He's older.
Asim al-Awwal. You wanted the Awwal to be for you, right? Okay. Asim al-Awwal. وَلَيْسَ قُرْبَ قَبْرِ حَرْبٍ قَبْرُ. Yes.
Okay, وليس القرب قبر حرب قبر.
Okay. So you feel why it's heavy, right? You want to participate? You. Yes.
وليس قرب قبر حرب قبرى.
قبر. Yeah. Okay. Asim al-Thani.
وليس قرب قبر حرب قبر.
Okay, you did that often, I think. Okay, so the first one is في رفع. This you have to memorize. Okay, في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع. يعني to make the Sharia prevail. That's the meaning. But it means to elevate the throne of the Sharia. Someone like you competes, and does his best. So في رفع عرش الشرع مثلك يشرع, and then وليس قرب قبر حرب قبر. And near to the graveyards, or the dead that were buried in the battlefield, there is no true graveyard. Meaning that those who, even if you build thousands of graves around the battlefield where heroes have died, they're not considered to be true graves. The true grave is there. That's what the meaning is. وليس قرب قبر وليس قرب قبر. Say it again. الحمد لله. وليس قرب قبر حرب قبر. Yes, عين. Okay. Good, alhamdulillah. So that's one. And then what's the next thing he says? It's time. MashaAllah, that was in another language. Okay, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. كريم متى أمدحه الورى معي وإذا ما لمته وحدي. This is for next time, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala. I hope you found it beneficial. Like each week we will do this. And I think in 3 months everything will be finished. I will ask you to do some homework, like memorizing these 2 poems. Also, when you come to the next class next week, you have to know everything which has been said here. Like fasahatul kalam, fasahatul kalima, the different, categories and so much more. Because otherwise you won't be able to follow, and you don't want to waste your time. Like coming every time at 7:30 and at the end not knowing what it's about. Okay? Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Amma ba'du. Alhamdulillah.
يا الله اسقينا